Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special new podcast, Wisdom Teeth Wisdom, with Dr. Ted. Dr. Ted, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by, and I'm excited about this podcast.
Great to be here. There's a lot of information that people need to know, especially parents.
Exactly. And let's talk about wisdom teeth and recovery for our first topic. Go ahead and talk about
That's a
that
good.
because
That's a good
wisdom teeth,
topic. It's a very common question.
yeah,
People want to know what to expect, and I hate to make the answer too simple, but it really comes down to the more difficult it is for me to do the surgery, the longer and the more difficult the surgery is going to be. So the smart thing to do is to try to do it when it's going to be less of a problem. And for most, that's going to be when you're younger. Now, if you've missed that age, the next important point is going to be to do it before your wisdom teeth get infected. So if you wait until your wisdom teeth bother you, generally that's going to be infection. It could be infection of the gum. It could be an infection of the tooth itself, which comes later from getting a cavity in it. Because quite frankly, wisdom teeth can decay very quickly because they're in the farthest back area of the mouth, which is the hardest to reach with a toothbrush. And sometimes the biggest cavities in our teeth are in the wisdom teeth, which are the newest teeth in the mouth. So it's kind of crazy. So what makes the removing wisdom teeth difficult is difficulty comes from several factors. Comes one from perhaps how long those teeth have been in the mouth and whether you've used them for chewing. So when someone assumes that, well, I'll just wait till they come in, you actually make it more difficult in many ways because that the bone holding those teeth becomes harder and firmer. So that makes for more work in getting them out. Sometimes it can be a little more difficult if you do it too early, where the wisdom teeth haven't developed enough and they're farther away from coming in than where it would be easier if you waited a little bit. So that you can figure out from seeing your oral surgeon and figuring out when might be the ideal time. But in general, one easy way to remember when's going to be the best time is compare a teenager having the same thing done as perhaps an adult in their 30s. And it's really no contest as to who's going to get through that the easiest. It's going to be the teenager, obviously. And why is that? Well, teenagers have many more stem cells as teens than adults. And us adults, those stem cells are starting to disappear as we get older. So once you get to about 60, you don't have a whole lot working for you. So that means at 60, that surgery is going to take a lot longer to be able to heal from.
that's so interesting. And you talk about that recovery period of figuring it out as a high schooler, the parents really have to identify when their kids' wisdom teeth need to be removed so that they don't end up in adulthood and end up being a very, very painful thing and recovery thing, it sounds like.
Yeah. So, I failed to mention how a lot of people want to know how many days should they plan, to recover after surgery. Probably the shortest period of time is going to be for the high schooler. And I'd say if let's say the procedure was done on a Friday, they took the weekend to recover, they should be able to get back to school on Monday, even though they may still be swollen. They're going to have a lot less discomfort after those few days than an adult who does it, let's say 25, 35, 45, et cetera. They're going to need easily 3 or 4 days after surgery to do it. Sometimes even longer if there was a particularly difficult procedure. So that should put things kind of in perspective.
Definitely. And people in the Tampa area or near the Tampa area, they can contact you today. And other people have questions by going, where's the best place?
TampaWisdomTeeth.com. They can call us at 813-972-3478.
All right, people need to definitely check that out. And it's exciting to talk about wisdom teeth. And there's so many more subjects to go. So people go to the website, check it out, contact Dr. Ted today. And I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.
All right, guys, that was wisdom teeth wisdom. Take care.